I am a publisher, writer, editor, daughter, sister, auntie, dog mom, and many other things, including currently a cancer patient. But I am not a doctor or medical professional of any sort. What you are about to watch is an episode of my journey through cancer. I'm sharing my adventure with you in hopes that you'll find something here that's comforting and maybe even inspiring. This video is not intended to provide any sort of diagnosis or treatment plan. Please go talk with your doctor for professional medical advice.
Day 2 begins with a smoothie and lab work. So off we go. They cannot make an appointment with my doctor until I have this lab work done because I was groggy yesterday when the doctor told me what needed to be done, so I'm hoping to deal with things with a little more clarity today. But I have been told that I am not able to get a doctor's appointment until my blood work is done because they have to be able to assess my kidney function, which, of course, last night in bed, where I did not sleep, gives way to all sorts of really pretty morbid thoughts. Why they need to know so much about my kidneys, what could be wrong with my kidneys, and I'm actually afraid to look up and do any research on it. I'm usually just a research maven, and I'm a little afraid because I don't want to know until I actually have a doctor in front of me who can answer some of the questions that are going to make me, no, that are not going to make me crazy, that are making me crazy right now. So, okay, day 2, lab work first. Okay, this was my next stop at Sandy's to have the hair done. And Sandy, say hi, where are you? Yay, thank you, Sandy. Next, toes and fingernails. Okay, next stop on the world tour, voting. It's Pennsylvania primary day. Voting is important. Every election is the most important election of your lifetime, although I have to say the upcoming midterms have me panicked. Anyway, I'm headed to vote in the Pennsylvania Democratic primary. God bless you, John Fetterman. I hope you're doing fine. I hope you're okay. You're my candidate. And it occurs to me, as I'm about to walk in there, that nobody else is wearing masks. And I think the cancer has just made me one of those people now that are susceptible and delicate and need to be protected more. So I've got my mask on. I had it on earlier today because I was going into a hospital where masking is required. It's not required here. And I have been really good about masking through this whole pandemic period of our lives. And I wouldn't say let my guard down, but I followed the new directives that you didn't have to mask in certain places, that it was okay to go without. And it strikes me now as I'm headed into vote that I really need to start being more careful again. And the final stop for today is Reese's Print Shop in beautiful downtown Lock Haven, where I need to get copies of my advance directive printed out. I have lived in California, and of course my brother has my power of attorney in case anything happens to me. And I'm in Pennsylvania, and I now have a need to have someone here who will, take charge if something happens to me. So I've got to get that in order, and that person is Christy, who's been my best friend since we were 12 years old, and I feel so blessed to have both of these people, my brother and my friend Christy, to take charge if something happens to me. Not that it's going to, right? But if it does, I have people that I trust, that I know love me, and that will, I trust implicitly to do the best thing for me. So I'm going to get those copies made. We're going to make sure that's all in order. and that will take me another step toward feeling better about this whole cancer thing. Yeah, so onward.
I got a lot done today. Got my lab work done, although when I got home, I got a text that there was more blood work wanted, so I will be back at the lab first thing tomorrow morning. I got mani-pedi, and I realized that some of the treatment options that are in my future might seem to render this day wasted. If I have surgery, then the nail polish is going to have to go. If I have chemo in my future, then this hairdo is likely going to be a last hurrah, and I am going to rock a bald look for a while. But you know what? It made me feel good. So, not wasted. I voted, which everybody has to do in every election, because the only way we're going to save America from fascism is if we, as progressives, and by the way, we're the majority, we have to turn out in numbers too big, too big. I got my advance directive squared away, so that if in the unlikely event that I'm unable to make decisions for myself, my best friend Christy can step in and take over and direct my care. My first appointment with the doctor who's going to be my primary doctor, the manager of this cancer adventure. I have my appointment with her on Friday, this coming Friday. And yes, I am certainly concerned that I'm going to go just slightest bit crazy for 3 days with no answers. But my CT scan is scheduled. I just have to call in the morning to find out when. The colonoscopy revealed the mass inside my intestine. The CT scan, to the best of my knowledge, is going to reveal what's outside the intestine to determine if it's spread. Yeah. So the mental strain of not knowing what the problem is, the scope of the problem we're going to have to deal with, is by far the worst part right now. I know that there are meds I can ask for to control the anxiety, and I'm not afraid to ask for them. But I know that over the next few weeks or months, it's likely that I'm going to have a whole lot of chemicals introduced into my bod, and I'd rather not introduce anything that isn't absolutely necessary. So I'm using breathing techniques to control the anxiety right now. There's a much more detailed article about the benefits of using breathing techniques, and it is, I linked it in the description below. It's from the Mayo Clinic. But in short, this technique that I'm using involves belly breathing. What does belly breathing mean? Most of us breathe through our chests, which are shallow breaths, which in and of themselves can cause anxiety. Belly breathing is breathing from the diaphragm, which is the body's main breathing muscle. And if you put your hand right below your rib cage and breathe in through your nose and let your belly extend while you're breathing, you can feel that diaphragm engage, and that's what you want to do with belly breathing. And the sort of routine or technique that I'm using right now is to breathe in, belly breathe in for a count of 5, extending your stomach, and then holding that breath for a count of 5, and then pursing your lips like you're going to whisper and breathing out to a count of 10. And then holding that for another count of 5. And then repeating that whole cycle over again 3 more times for a total of 4 cycles. And it's amazing. You'll feel your body and your mind just calm as you do this. I've linked a study from the NIH, again below, if you want to read more about why this happens, why the act of conscious breathing can have psychophysiological effects, but you don't need to know the why to feel the benefits of breath work, the sense of peace and calm that washes over you. Also, if I were in California, I would also be vaping and doing some edibles, but I'm not. So one of the things I will be asking the doctor for is a medical marijuana card when I see her on Friday. There's 1 3 milligram chocolate-covered blueberry before I go to bed, and 5 or 10 minutes of belly breathing, and I am in the zone. So again, I'm not afraid to ask for the meds, the chemicals, if and when I need them to deal with the anxiety. But I know I'm experiencing it now. I know I'm going to experience more of it in the future as I deal with this cancer. But right now, breathing is doing the job. So take a breath. Take a day to get your hair and your nails done if that's what makes you feel good. Because, even if you're going to lose your hair or have to take the nail polish off, hairdos and mani-pedis aren't permanent anyway. So take care of yourself.
If you liked this video or found it helpful, give it a like, subscribe, and don't forget to ring the bell.